Well, hello everybody and welcome to this conference. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Dr. Mohamed Chawki. I am Assistant Professor of Cybercrime in Saudi Arabia and Chairman of the International Association of Cybercrime Prevention located in Paris, France. I obtained my PhD in cybercrime from Lyon University in France. It's my pleasure today to present on cloud computing, privacy, and security, legal and technical issues. So let's start our presentation. So the main points that we'll focus on today are an introduction to cloud computing, the privacy of users in cloud computing environment, addressing privacy issues in cloud computing, legal challenges in cloud computing, and we will conclude this presentation by talking about GDPR and cloud computing. In today's generation, cloud computing platforms and applications are growing up as businesses and organizations are adopting digital infrastructure. Cloud computing elaborates on the remote servers networks which are usually accessed over the internet and to help the user to store, manage, and process data. Nowadays, cloud computing has become a phenomenon in the information technology sector, and these services are generating billions of dollars every year, as European companies are using an average of 608 cloud applications. Privacy is a very important consideration in the cloud computing world, since privacy weakness will impact compliance, data security, and user trust, thereby giving rise to legal complications. Unfortunately, legal rights and regulatory authority for the protection of the user privacy in the cloud computing world is not well defined. Access and storage of users' movements and behavioral information while on the cloud has a huge market for the data mining and advertising companies. They study the movements to in turn spam the user with products that they may want in the near future. Companies are working to enable the setup of different products that can make users attracted to them as they wish to know different user movement patterns within the cloud storage. Data mining companies are taking people interested in applying for jobs where they attain news on how to find friends. Despite different benefits provided by cloud computing, there are many disadvantages outlined in terms of security issues. In this process, some of the problems include data loss. Many companies using cloud storage encounter data loss. It's known that our sensitive data is in the hands of somebody else, and we don't have full control over our database. So, if the security of cloud service is to break by hackers, then it may be possible that hackers will get access to our sensitive data or personal files. Secondly, user account hijacking. If a hacker hijacks an organization's user, the hacker attains full authority for use in performing unauthorized activities. Thirdly, denial of service attacks. Such form of attack takes place when one receives much traffic. The attack targets larger organizations. When an attack occurs, data is lost. Thus, recovering this data requires a significant amount of money and time. Addressing privacy issues in cloud computing. Most companies enforce privacy encryption on data stored in the cloud. The issue on this material cloud provider is used on storage of data, as data will be unrecognizable by CSP. It will ensure that the CSP process data and perform several tasks on it. Now that the data was not easily recognizable by CSP, therefore it will not process the data or fulfill several different stuff for people. Legal challenges in cloud computing. Being an emerging technology, cloud computing has solved different dynamic complex aspects in serving other countries. Due to such processes, protecting customers, the service providers handle the great challenge of cloud computing. It's due to that reason that there is a need to develop fair and efficient laws regarding the service providers and the cloud computing customers. Different complexities in different countries entail making use of cloud computing dynamics. Specific jurisdictions, rules, and regulations are put in place to manage work. After upgrading and implementing computer cloud computing, the service providers permit customers to build a contractual agreement. The entire process is based on the nature of cloud computing. Different technological models ensure that services are provided to other customers. The models pose substantial regularity aspects used in cloud computing service providers. The issues related to the applicability of laws and regulations addressing cloud computing. They are applicable through specific rules, regulations, and competent jurisdiction as per the country or region. The impact of GDPR on the cloud industry. On May 25th, 2018, the European Union introduced the General Data Protection Regulation, whose main characteristic is to protect personal data and privacy of European Union state members. This implies not only how organizations secure and identify the personal information in their systems, but as well as in cloud services. It also deals with how an organization is accommodating transparency in the data flow, detecting any relevant malfunction, reporting personal data breaches, and handling privacy of the personnel. It will apply to any organization who has European Union resident or citizen data, regardless of whether or not they are from the European Union. As per the GDPR norms, none of the organization can store the personal data for longer than needed for the defined purposes. Therefore, they have to delete data after the retention period has expired, both from local as well as cloud server. In an agreement with the cloud providers, data breach notification and protocols must be included. The contract between both parties should notify the breach even to the enterprise without any undue delay. In the future, if the cloud provider suffered from any kind of data breach, then at the point it should inform the organization as soon as possible so that it can make a call to manage the situation on their own or with the help of cloud provider or any other third-party solution. It could be possible that the data is stored in multiple locations and outside the area of the European Economic Area by the cloud provider. In this kind of situation, the controller can make a decision to whitelist the country where they want the data to stay. In the contract with the cloud provider, it should be spelled out that the ownership of the personal data of customers should be in his or her hand, but apart from this, if the data is stored in some other country, it is the responsibility of the organization. A year before the implementation of the GDPR, Google wrote about its commitment to GDPR compliance across Google Cloud platforms. Google has always taken privacy and security as a prime concern and always tries to maintain transparency between its cloud services and customers. In conclusion, we can say that from the date of the implementation of GDPR in the European Union, it has become a significant data protection safeguard for the citizen, which offers both new challenges and a potential opportunity for the cloud providers all around the globe. Most of the cloud providers are not yet prepared for it, as there are multiple challenges a cloud provider could have to face for providing its services in the European Union. But once they adjust themselves in the scenario, they can run their program easily. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Here is my email. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.